Push to talk.
Push. Hello? Yes.
Yes.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. If I could kindly ask you to take your seats for the next session, which is one of the World Conference Head Talks. And I'm very, very pleased and honored to be able to introduce to you our head talker this afternoon, Miss Lesley White. She is the Deputy Vice President of Human Resources at HUAWEI's Western Europe region. And she will present to you now on HUAWEI's very famous now talent programs. Lesley, please take the floor.
Thank you. That's amazing. I should come on more often. I'm just going to wait. My PPT's up now. So, hello everyone, and thank you for joining this afternoon. So, as said, my name is Lesley White, and I am the Deputy VP of HR for the Western European region. It's a pleasure to be here this afternoon with you, and I'm really enjoying being a part of the UNESCO World Higher Education Conference. First, I'd like to start off by sharing some of my thoughts on education and talent management. Having been a human resources manager for more than 25 years, thank you, which means I've personally weathered rounds of economic crises during my time. Almost always, when the economy slows, people always start to ask me, is my job safe? Am I going to be fired? It's not surprising to hear these questions from young people and those who are driven to become future leaders. It's almost instinctual to ask these questions. Over the past 2 years, this raging pandemic has swept across the world, wreaking havoc on lives and our economy. Despite many countries lifting COVID and travel restrictions, the influence of the lingering pandemic is still hitting many large economies. Many industries have been forced to reshuffle existing employees to new positions. But should we get worried? This is what I hope to answer during the course of this session. The job, will I keep it? Will I keep my job? Will I actually need to look for another job? These are all things that we are asking ourselves pretty much daily because we know somebody that has been impacted quite dramatically by COVID. Will I have to find a new job? So what I will do, I hope to answer these questions. So I would say, as long as we stay aware and alert to the geopolitical, the macro environment situation, then there's no need to be consumed by worry. Amid rapid changes, fresh opportunities shall emerge. So according to the IMF back in March, the COVID pandemic has caused by far the biggest shock to European economies since World War II. But it's not all negative news. The EU unemployment rate had already fallen to record lows by December 2021. In other countries, labour force participation rates are at record highs. This can be clearly linked to rapid and massive policy responses that both the EU and national governments have made to output the economies most likely to be hurt by the pandemic. Because of this, we believe that European labour markets will likely exit the pandemic in much better shape than coming in at the start compared to previous recessions. Nonetheless, global recovery is expected to benefit multiple groups unequally. Workers in contact-intensive services who tend to be low-skilled, young, with temporary employment arrangements will be hit the hardest, further widening inequality in our society. So, how do we mitigate inequality and protect the most vulnerable? Helping more employees make the transition to ride the digital tide is one answer. As before the pandemic, digitalization, automation, and climate change policies were already becoming key drivers of worker relocation across multiple sectors and regions. The IMF had already anticipated 5 million jobs would be created over the next 10 years in the largest 4 euro area countries. Now that number is expected approximately to be 1.5 million lower. However, in the long term, we are confident that the labour market will recover as investment flocks to new business areas. Accenture reports that 88% of European companies attempted to boost their investment in digital transformation and sustainability in 2021. That is a significant jump compared with 58% pursuing digital transformation and sustainability in 2020. Accelerated investment in both digitalization and sustainability is expected to create net 5.7 million jobs by 2030 in Europe. That is net job creation. This is a significant statistic because we've all asked ourselves at some point if machines could actually replace humans, or if digitalization would result in increased unemployment. Today, we actually have some solid answers that I can share with you to these questions. First of all, I want to emphasize digitalization is not equal to full automation. Second, the researchers coming from both HUAWEI and Accenture have already identified some exciting trends. While digitalization will decrease labor requirements for some certain jobs, such as hazardous jobs like mining or repetitive database jobs such as auditing, digitalization will also create many jobs in new areas like engineering, operations, jobs in manufacturing, high-tech, life science, and media industries, just as an example. The amount of new jobs created by digitalization is expected to more than offset the jobs that are lost. And the jobs that are going are ones that are repetitive, tiring, and more importantly, dangerous. Therefore, as a woman, as a mother, as a human resource expert, I myself am often haunted by stories of avoidable tragedies in the workplace that could have been prevented by automation. I want to live in a world where this is a thing of the past. I am also excited for the day when more and more women are able to use technology to work in positions they were traditionally barred from, like in ports, agriculture, and construction. Again, just as some examples. And if that means we need to learn new digital skills to fit into new roles, then I say, bring it on. This is our chance to ride the digital tide towards a safer and more egalitarian future. Let's help more people enjoy the benefits of digitalization. But how exactly can we accomplish this? Let me start off by sharing some of what HUAWEI is doing in this area. We know digitalization has taken off at a stunning pace all over the world. HUAWEI has unique experience in this process as we work closely with pioneers, including scientists, researchers, engineers, all to drive digitalization. At the same time, we are committed to creating and encouraging an inclusive environment where people can come together to learn, to grow, to collaborate, and to give back to make sure that no one is left behind. Our educational and vocational programs play an important role here to help people transition to new jobs and into the labour market. In 2008, HUAWEI launched our flagship Seeds for the Future program. This program provides university students around the world the opportunity to receive training from HUAWEI experts and meet with senior industry leaders and known in the latest ICT technologies, such as cybersecurity and sustainability. We sponsor the young applicants who are eager to learn with a tech-savvy trip to China, where they can push their own boundaries and explore their futures. In 2021, we also set up a scholarship under this program for European schools and students to improve their access to ICT learning and development. We are proud of the impact we have had through these programs. As of today, you can see that, Seeds for the Future operates in 137 countries and regions, providing training and resources for over 12,000 students around the globe. In Europe alone, more than 2,500 students participated in the program by the end of December 2020. Over the next 5 years, HUAWEI has made a pledge to invest an additional 20 million euros into this program. And this investment will allow a further 8,500 more students to participate in these thoughtfully designed courses and training trips. The program itself has been very well received by its participants. Most former participants actually joined the ICT industry after graduation, and we are so happy to see them take on many roles, key roles within 5G, cloud computing and AI. In addition to the Seeds for the Future program, HUAWEI has kicked off a multitude of other programs to help more people live to their full potential. We believe with ICT skills, the next generation will continue to achieve more and reach higher than those that went before them. This year, HUAWEI will launch a brand new series of programming competitions called the Tech Arena. We will initially hold a dozen programming competitions in countries including France, Spain, Germany and the UK. With this new initiative, we will go beyond just funding and hosting the competitions. This year, experts from across HUAWEI's many international research centres will help to train the participants and design the cutting-edge problems for all the contestants to actually solve. This will actually give students the opportunity to engage with the world's most cutting-edge science. It will also help them practice getting their hands dirty to prepare them for their future careers as engineers and as developers. During this process, as a company that emphasises our social responsibility, we are also making our best effort to make these helpful programs as diversified and inclusive as possible. I'm proud to say HUAWEI is taking actions to make the ICT world, which we all know considered previously to be dominated majorly by male employees, an environment friendlier to women. In 2021, HUAWEI published its Statement on Gender Equality under the umbrella of Tech for Her, Tech by Her, Tech with Her. We committed to using our technologies and platforms to improve women's everyday lives, help more women join the tech industry, and promote female leadership. Our women empowerment programs have already made tangible impact on the world around us, from mega cities in the Asia-Pacific region to remote areas in Africa. In September 2021, we provided tailored digitalization training sessions for 200 female legislators in Indonesia. This helped them take on leadership roles as their jobs went virtual. In November of last year, we partnered with Ghana's Rebecca Foundation to offer coding and fintech training to hundreds of Ghanaian women. This has opened the door to new job opportunities and for many local women, boosted their participation in the local labour force and ultimately contributed to the local economy. In Europe, we've also hosted 2 educational programmes aimed at supporting women leadership. in the digital age. These are courses between term times, so it can be very convenient for them based on potentially their private lives. We invited female students from various academic backgrounds to participate in professional trainings, such as coding classes. Participants were also given the opportunity to learn from prominent public figures and entrepreneurs, such as the European Parliament member, Maria de Garcia Caviola, and former UNESCO Director of Gender Equality, Sunny Gulser. We are delighted to see these future leaders leave our programs with more ICT skills that will help them excel in their careers. Promoting gender equality is a long-term fight that HUAWEI is happy to take on. We are confident that our relentless and pragmatic efforts will have a positive impact on our society. Though we have started small, we are confident that every step we take is one step closer to true gender equality. We are determined to continue expanding our empowerment programs to benefit more women across the world. We have a long road ahead of us. There will still be intersections we must cross and steep crests that for us all to climb. But we will not lose sight of our goal, and we will not give up even when the going gets tough. As I said earlier, a digital tide is coming toward us at lightning speed. We need to ride this wave instead of being swallowed by the swelling waters. I would like to call on all young students to stand up and take advantage of these unprecedented opportunities. If you are an ICT major, we have the best resources to help you grow and start your career. If your studies actually lacked the slightest relation to any STEM fields or topics, I still encourage you to open your mind to these new ideas. Even a fundamental undertaking of modern ICT technologies will unlock groundbreaking ways to improve your effectiveness in the digital era. And if the only problem left now is how to get resources and how to get help and how to start you on your ICT digitalization journey, you know where to find us. I wish everyone good luck, and I know we can all enjoy the benefits from digitalization. Thank you.
Thank you, Lesley, for your time, for all the information you gave us. Honestly, I'm very impressed by all the talent programs that you are managing, and how tech can bridge this, this digital divide and offers more and more opportunities. I know you broke 10 students from your seats for the future program here. Can see just all of them right there. And what I hope is more and more companies will be able to offer these young students the same opportunities. We hope so. Now, time to open the Q&A part. So let's open the floor to the questions. We have our hostesses just right here. So do not hesitate, just, hey, we have the first question, your turn.
Thank you. Thank you, Helena. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm an academic from University of Reading. My name is Kacheng Liu. I'm really impressed by your chat, your talk that covers quite a range of topics. I really appreciate HUAWEI's vision to bring digital to every home, individual, and organization for connected, intelligent world. In fact, as a informatics professor, I have that kind of ambition too. So you have done you have done quite a lot. So you have done your work very well. But do you expect us from academic side that we can work together. So what kind of specific expectations you have on the university in terms of higher education to achieve the ambition? Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your question. So I would wholeheartedly agree that HUAWEI has done and made great efforts in driving the digitalization, embracing the worldwide, trying to bridge the gaps. As we heard from many presentations earlier, there is still some inequality in access to ICT courses, digitalization, learning about 5G in order for them to grow their own economies. So HUAWEI has taken many initiatives, including what we call digital trucks. We have them going around to remote areas of certain countries, certainly within Africa. It's been very successful. But if we're looking purely from the academia, I think we need to work more in collaboration. It needs to be a unified, joint effort. It's not that HUAWEI needs to design what we believe will help drive this digital gap and drive the skills for the future, but we need to work with the universities to provide the courses, the content, the material, access to cutting-edge technologies, so they actually get to have some experience, they get to learn the latest courses, and we design them together and we can roll them out to more and more people. And I think what digitalization will enable is that we can do that remotely. I know a lot of students want to get back to face-to-face training, but we can do it through downloading publications, access to white papers, access to MOOCs. And I think this is where we can work stronger together to actually design what is needed. You know, what actually do we need to deliver to our students, to the talent of the future, to build this pipeline to make sure that we're well equipped in the new era, in the fourth generation, as they call it, the fourth industrial revolution. So I think more communication and collaboration, and I think we would have a win-win. And I think it would be win-win for HUAWEI, for the universities, and also for the students, because it would be tailored to everyone's needs. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed for this excellent presentation. I am Hannele Niemi, professor from the University of Helsinki from Finland. I have led 2 years now AI in learning, and my question is that how do you see what is the role of AI in the future? Because I can see also signs that it's deepening the gap between countries and different groups of people. It's changing totally working life. It's giving huge opportunities for learning in the future, but how we could prevent the gap that is increasing based on these AI applications. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's another very hot topic type of question. I don't think we all have the answer yet. We're still learning and knowing the impacts, but I do believe that, yes, there are some negatives that the AI is bringing and perhaps widening that gap, as you talked about. But this is where we need more collaboration. We need to make joint efforts in how to ensure that together we can close that gap. As just mentioned, we can work with universities, we can provide the classes, provide access to the latest technology in order that everyone can become equal on the equal playing field. But how to prevent that gap, I think, takes time, it's going to take effort, and it's going to take concerted programs where we purely focus. And this is why HUAWEI is just not working with certain universities, working with the seeds and having them go to China. There are areas where that is not possible. So we are taking technology out to the rural countries. We are providing some scholarships, some internships to help these students to become part of this digitalization. So AI, they are part of AI. It does not replace them. And that's our mission. And we want to bring, as rightly said, digital to every home and organisation. So there's a lot to do. We can't do it alone, but we're prepared to start that journey and take the steps. But together, I think HUAWEI and universities could create something quite groundbreaking. Thank you for your question.
Thank you. My name is Javier Uceda. I'm director of the UNESCO Chair of University Policy and Management at the Technical University of Madrid in Spain. And I'm rather familiar with the initiative you have described. And I must say that congratulations for all these activities you are doing in Europe. In my own department, I have some of those activities every year, and that's pretty good. And you are clearly helping to shape the future talent, and that's pretty good for the student, and it's very nice to see the figures and the number of people that is finally just in the process in all the initiatives you have launched, and that's very good, and congratulations. But my question now is on the other way around. So you are shaping the talent. That's pretty good. For the well, I would say. So that's something which is quite open. But what is the impact of all this initiative in recruiting the talent for HUAWEI? Do you get any feedback for all this initiative? And what's your view? And do you have any comment on that or any indicator to measure that or so? Something regarding just the other way around. What is the impact in HUAWEI of those initiatives just shaping the talent openly, as you have described?
Thank you for your question. So firstly, thank you for your recognition to the efforts that HUAWEI is making in these areas and promoting through these programs. So that's very good to receive that feedback. Now, one interesting thing is you can see the numbers of, for example, the Seeds for the Future, going out, the investment, working with universities. It's not that we can take on all of that talent. That's not our mission. It is impossible. We do not want global domination. We want collaboration, and we want to work with other companies. We want sort of joint initiatives. We want to drive forward for the world a better digitalized, safer, as I said, more equal environment. Now, for those students that take, for example, the Seeds for the Future, we cannot employ 12,500. It's impossible. We do not have that number of positions. But what we are doing is we are building our connection, our relationship with those 12,500, just as an example. So we may take on a few, we may have the opportunity to hire some initially, but we may hire them in the future, in 3 years, in 5 years. But what we have ambassadors out there who know what HUAWEI can do, and they can take some of that idea and that way of working with technology to their organizations. So it's very much, they become sort of ambassadors for this type of programming that they can then get their organizations. So it's for the better good, it's just not for HUAWEI. We are in this for the long term, and we believe we have a duty to build the talent for the future for everyone. Thank you.
Hi, hello. Thank you so much for your amazing presentation. My name is Jonathan Miranda from Mexico, from Tecnológico de Monterrey. So I have a question related to research programs and research initiatives. So I like a lot what you mentioned about collaboration and how you are open for collaboration with universities. My question is about how we can get access from Mexico, from universities, from Latin America, to some research programs or research initiatives with you. And also, I would like to congratulate all these amazing students. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Yes, I would like to congratulate them. They're all totally excellent. Now, you want access to the research, you want to perhaps collaborate with HUAWEI in certain initiatives. Now, because I'm responsible for Europe, I'm not so familiar, but we do have research and development centres globally on a global basis. So what I would suggest, you and I connect immediately after this session, and then I can follow that through and find out the direct people to put you in touch with, because we're very strong in Europe. We have some excellent research and development institutions here, not only in the UK, in Germany, in Italy, in Sweden. For your region, I'm not so sure. So I would like to work with you and put you in contact with the right person. How are we doing?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Lesley. That was the last question for today. It was a pleasure. Thank you for your time on all these answers. Thank you to all the audience for the questions. What we hope, or what I hope, is more and more companies will be able to work with universities, with governments, just trying to improve this experience learning, and of course advocate these Tech for Good initiatives. So again, Lesley, thank you very much for your time, and that's all for today. Thank you.